Hello everyone and welcome to this special ECAC hockey preview where we are going to preview the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team's opening weekend against the Colgate Raiders and Cornell Big Red. Hello, I'm Andrew Badillo and joined alongside me is Quinnipiac men's ice hockey beat reporter Gabbi Riggi. Gabbi, how you doing?
I'm doing really good, Andrew.
All right, Gabbi, let's jump right on into it. 6 games through the season, 6 wins, tied for the fastest start in Quinnipiac men's ice hockey history. The Bobcats have been on a tear early on, a combination of explosive offense and stifling defense. The Bobcats have outscored their opponents 27-8. The number 5 ranked offense and defense in the country has received contributions from all of its lines so far. Led by senior Travis St. Dennis, junior Sam Annis, and freshman Thomas Allworth, the offense is averaging 4.5 goals per game. A large part of the team's success this season has been goaltender Michael Gartig, who is sporting a 1.3 goals against average. Quinnipiac has dominated every opponent it has faced this season, including 2 dominant victories over then 9th-ranked St. Cloud State. Quinnipiac enters the opening weekend of ECAC play facing off against Colgate and Cornell. So, Gabbi, I mentioned it earlier, Thomas Allworth, one of the young freshmen, one of the upperclassmen on this team. So, as a collective group, how have they made an impact on this team so far?
I think they've been one of the most impactful freshman classes as a collective unit that they've had in a very long time at this university. There's been a freshman scoring in every game so far this season. They've combined for 22 points. I think they're a little bit fortunate this year. This is one year where it's not as much a rebuilding year as it is the idea that you're filling in a lot of the players. So they've been able to fill out the roster a little bit more, be able to get 2 lines with scoring depth, and kind of get that opportunity to just add guys in. In years past, there have been bigger holes on the defense. There have been goaltending you have to replace. This year, you're adding guys that complement the core you already have, and I think this freshman group is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, the Bobcats have been outscoring their opponents 28-7 this year, so that's a testament to them. So moving on, what has been the best or most impressive aspect of the team this year? They've been well-rounded, but what's the most, what's the aspect of the team that stuck out the most to you?
I'm going to have to say special teams, so including both the penalty kill that's still at 100% and the power play at a 40% conversion rate. To me, the special teams are indicative of how well your team is able to play on both sides of the puck. I think their defense has had some opportunities where their penalty kill could have been a little bit stronger in instances in games like Maine. There was a little bit of back check that was absent there that kind of could have hurt them a little bit more if the opponent, was a little bit of a higher caliber. But that power play has been absolutely outstanding. Power play looks like it's something that we've had in the ECAC this year that's going to be the big make or break. Harvard's now playing with 5 forwards on their power play. Quinnipiac's playing 4 forwards, 1 defenseman. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how that affects them going down the road. But I think their power play, their penalty kill, the strength of those 2 things is going to be absolutely crucial this year. I also think the depth of scoring, as I said, with that inclusion of this freshman class, they now have lines, those first top 2 lines, any one of those guys could score a big-time goal for you. Anyone on the 3rd or 4th lines can contribute. They're chippy. They are forechecking guys. So I think there's just that depth of scoring along with the special teams has made this team very strong this year.
All right, Gabbi, so you mentioned chippiness, and you can't not mention chippiness when you mention Cornell and Quinnipiac, and that's the first game of the weekend series this weekend. And in past history, the teams have come together. Last year, the whole incident with Mike Schaefer and Rand Pecknold, Mike Schaefer calling Rand Pecknold out after the game. So do you think that the history of these 2 teams going in will play into the matchup?
A little bit yes, a little bit no. I think we would have seen more of it play out and transpire in February when they traveled to Liner Rink. And we really didn't see that as much. It could happen again this year because this Quinnipiac team likes to make sure guys are cleared out of the crease after the whistle, make sure guys are, they're finishing their checks and things like that. So it could very well start. Cornell is always a program that likes to get bigger guys, bigger defensemen. So we could see that maybe play out. I think between the bitterness about that 7-0 game where Schaefer said that Pecknold ran up the score and that playoff game last year where Pecknold accused a player of diving when he looked like he was injured on the play, I think those 2 things are going to be part of these 2 teams' history. We'll see. I think it might be more of one event might be a catalyst that could start something on the ice rather than it continuing and carrying over from games past.
Okay, Gabbi. So, Cornell, you said with the big physical aspect of the game, Quinnipiac has been a physical team as well in the past, and this year they've been physical too. But what facet of the game do you think that's going to be most important for Cornell?
I'm going to have to say the defense. I think they've always had those big physical defensemen. There have been players that have a really big force And I think it's going to be interesting to see defense match with defense. Cornell has only played 2 games so far this season, so their goaltending stats for Mitch Gillum are a little bit inflated. But they've always had a strong defensive program. They've bred really excellent defensemen. So I want to see how a guy like Connor Clifton, who's kind of evolved his game a little bit and is much more of a complete defenseman this year than his underclassmen years, how guys like him, how guys like Devontae's maybe match up against these bigger Cornell defensemen, guys who are going to play at that higher caliber level that they need to be ready for.
Okay, so moving on to the second game of the weekend series, the Colgate Raiders. Gabbi, they had 2 really tough losses to a really good Providence College Friars team. Does the 3-4 record that they have really indicate how good of a team they are?
Again, I'm going to go with a little bit of yes, a little bit of no. I think this team was my dark horse pick last year. They have a lot of strengths, in terms of the Spinks and in terms of Charlie Finn and net. They have these key elements that are going to be very important for them. But to me, those guys can't carry the team. Sure, you can have your goal scorers, and the Spinks are absolutely dynamic. Yes, you have Charlie Finn who can hold down things, but if your defensemen are giving up too many opportunities, if you have not enough forwards, or if one of the Spinks goes cold, there's not much to your team. But I picked them as my dark horse team. They made it to the final in the ECAC tournament in Lake Placid. They put a really strong showing up against Harvard. They could have beaten Harvard. Harvard was the team that went to the Frozen Four. That was an absolutely excellent game. So I think yes and no. If they get on a cold streak, that's going to really affect this team. If they get on the hot streak, they're a legit team.
All right, Gabbi, so you mentioned a few of those players, the Spink brothers and Charlie Finn, but does one player sort of stick out as you as an important player for Colgate?
Yeah, for me, it's going to have to be Charlie Finn in net. I think, as we saw even last weekend with Charlie Lindgren for St. Cloud State, he was the make-or-break guy. Michael Gartig's been the make-or-break guy so far. I think for as good as their forwards are, for as good as their defense can be, I think your goalie is going to have to bail you out, especially with the way that this Quinnipiac offense has been going at such the clip that they've been going. Your goalie is going to have to bail you out a couple of times because we know there's going to be opportunities where there's going to be odd man rushes, and opportunities for guys like Sam Mendez to kind of go in low. So I have a feeling Charlie Finn's going to be the go-to guy for the Raiders this weekend.
All right, Gabbi, so we broke down the matchups. Now let's go on over to the touchscreen monitor and break down the more X's and O's for Colgate and Cornell.
All right, Andrew. So first we're going to look at Cornell setting up here. They have the opportunity up high. Here we have this one forward, gets around this defenseman here. What they have to be careful of is there's not a lot of presence down low here on the defense. So you're going to see Murray come on in as the defenseman, fill this open space over here and get this clean look because no one's looking this way and you have a wide open net right here. Let's take a look at how this play plays out. Oh, excuse me. So as we said, fakes the pass up there, gets it to Murray, one-timer, a lot of guys in front of the net. Definitely something the Bobcats have to watch out for with the clumping down in front. Take another.
That's something Quinnipiac has been good at all year, at least their coverage on the blue line. It's been more so a problem down low for the Bobcats, forwards and defensemen, covering players in front of Michael Gartig.
Absolutely. They have a tendency to kind of head over towards the corners and kind of avoid guys in front. That's a little bit of the size issue of not having enough guys that can kind of dig the puck in and pull guys out from in front of the net, but that's something they definitely have to keep an eye on with this Cornell team. Now here we see the opportunity right in front. Mitch Gillum here in net. We're going to go back just a little bit. And you'll see, even though Gillum makes the save, one of the issues that I saw with him was that he leaves a very big 5-hole open. So even as strong as he may be, there's these opportunities where forwards are deep down and low, and he's got a wide open 5-hole. He'll go post to post and leave them plenty of room in the middle. So that's definitely something, while he was able to hold on to it, if his defenseman can't be there to kind of bail him out, that's going to be something that's going to hurt them going forward. And
Tim Clifton actually scored a game-winning goal last year, Gillum, through the 5-hole. So that's something
absolutely.
that Quinnipiac is going to look to exploit.
Especially with that rush of speed, that's something that they can definitely capitalize on. He's not going to know which way to read the angle. He's going to leave you the 5-hole wide open in the middle. That's something they have to be careful of. Now here's something defensive-wise that Cornell has to be careful of with the speed that the Bobcats has. This is against a not as strong Niagara team, and they still get this opportunity in here. Forward's able to get around one forward, one defenseman. And then here we're talking again about Gillum's absence and not really ability to read the way that the play flows out. So we're going to see he's going to try to go kind of back and forth. He's lucky the net gets kicked off there. But just the kind of inability to get back and forth from post to post.
Yeah, you saw there, he makes the save on the blocker, but then he doesn't know where to go with that rebound. It was too much of a rebound. He didn't know whether to go back into his net or push off forward and try to make the save.
Absolutely. So even though Gillum has under a 1 goals against, is 2-0, reading the lanes definitely looks to be an issue for him. We're going to hop over to Colgate now. The opportunity again for Rochester in low, coming in through the neutral zone, something the Bobcats love to do again with that head of speed. Takes the puck here, kind of gets it through. Now he's got options because now he has this forward here. He's got this guy trailing, and there's going to be a guy coming in right in here. So that's got to be what you watch out for, is kind of the trailer and the way that these guys are going to fall in as you head in through the blue line. See, and then we have in there, comes on in deep, gets a good opportunity in low. So again, you can see how the work through the neutral zone has got to be something the Bobcats have to kind of watch out for. They're a team that while they like to do the stretch pass, that might get taken away from them, and something very well like that could happen to them. Here, Colgate has the power play, so this is, again, the Bobcats have a great penalty kill. This is something they have to keep an eye on, too. We just see them with that quick wrister in low. Let's go back and check that play out one more time. And just kind of see how through the zone here, again, like we said before, the options, the numbers in deep. These guys and the trailer you're able to get coming in down low once again. Have these guys come in. Watch your option here. Who's the guy getting the rebound?
Quick
so
passing.
Again, crashing the net, quick passing, getting that option in along the blue line. Something that the Bobcats have to watch out for. And again, that's all the work from the spink line. So that's something they have the game book on these guys, but it's something they have to keep an eye out. Here again against RIT, they have the power play, tons of open space, which gives them this is an option play from behind their own net. Gonna head on in deep through the neutral zone. Pause it right here. Which guy do you think they're gonna go to, Andrew? That one? My option, my best bet.
If I had to guess, it would be that one. But
the guy you actually want to keep an eye out for are going to be the 2 trailer guys. But keep an eye right back here.
We're doing a constant theme here, trailers.
Absolutely. It's the guy in last, kind of working and getting the rebound. It was the original man in on the play, but just getting those last opportunities, those last pokes in on goal. That's what you have to watch out for. It's the guy on the trailers. They have just as much speed as the Bobcats do, so that's something they have to keep an eye on. Here now we have Charlie Finn. We mentioned him being the key guy for the Raiders going in. And Charlie Finn just gets a close shot in. This guy is coming in. It's a little bit tight in, but you see there's all of this open space up here on top. All of this back here. The defender is too far out. That stick's not going to do you any good there. So at this point, Finn has to hope a defenseman's in there to help him with any of the trailers again, or to kind of go in and hope that it goes off the post. But as we see, completely out of position, not enough time to get back, able to score a goal there for Rochester Tech.
Instead of going down with the left pad there, Finn really needed to push off of his right skate.
Absolutely. And again, that's the reading the angles thing that we said about Gillum as well. If you can get these guys to bite on one side, you can kind of catch them playing on the off angles. It's something about being, Finn is a junior, but just having the opportunities to kind of force these younger guys to make those quick decisions. And here we have, again, we're going to see Charlie Finn get challenged a little bit. RIT here with lots of time and space in the neutral zone.
It's the same play.
Same play. Guy comes on in. You see a lot of open spaces here, though. A lot of room on this post, a real big 5-hole, and even some opportunity to roof one in up here. As we said, the second Tim Clifton goal, that same exact way. So we'll see him just come on in here. And again, it's that trailer.
This defenseman right here completely missed his assignment.
Absolutely. So then we see it's, again, the defenseman missing the reads. It's the goaltender not reading the angle correctly. So here again, we have the power play. We'll see how they set up, or they're on the penalty kill, power play for Rochester Tech. And here we have these guys. What's the problem here? All your guys blew the coverage on this guy. You had 4 guys
overload
all on this side of the ice. You're leaving Finn. Finn was reading the angle back this way. This guy's wide open. Nothing's going to come of that. For you on the defensive end, able to beat him completely on the far side. So again, that's just something, reading the angles, your defenseman making the right coverage. We've seen that with the Bobcats, though, too. The opportunities where your forwards are or your defensemen, are overloading one side of the ice. All of these Bobcats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's up high? who is covering this guy up here? You're hurting yourself here. They like to fill all the guys down low and get these guys to pressure right along the goal line here. They leave a lot of room up high on this play.
And Gabby, even though that they do like to cover down low, sometimes they do leave men open in front of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes you'll have guys kind of working on this half spot right here. A lot of this too is the forwards have to kind of come in down low and kind of follow the assignment of the defenseman, but they kind of leave themselves out to dry because some of the defensemen need to be up here. Your defensemen are all the way back here. This is the forward assignment. This is the forward assignment. This is the forward assignment.
This is a very weak part of the ice right here, the high slot, low slot in between the dots. It's a spot that Quinnipiac likes to leave open a lot.
Absolutely. So that's something they have to be careful of, is just rushing too many guys in down low. This ends up, in a goal here against the Bobcats. Michael Gartig really couldn't do anything with that play. Just kind of got it pushed in past him because there were just too many guys in front of him. We're going to see another play here. Same kind of thing where it's just a lot of the forward loading, missing that trailer guy, missing that option. Just really, it's watching the trailers. It's really the big thing. Not getting too many of your forwards. Make sure your forwards are up and back checking. That's really the name of this game. And here we see against St. Cloud, this was an opportunity where, look where your defensemen are. All of them are right in here. Again, who is covering this guy? Who's covering this guy? You're leaving the high slot wide open. You have Devon Taves, who's an excellent defenseman right here, but you have these guys open. You have this guy as your trailer wide open because your guys right here, they're getting crisscrossed because nobody knows what their assignment is on this play. So let's see it play out. The Bobcats are a little bit fortunate there that they missed that one and instead doing their little chippy thing, trying to clear the net to make up for that, but that is just a blown defensive coverage. Pretty lucky the Huskies weren't able to capitalize on that one.
And Michael Gartig really has come up big in those situations this year.
All right, now Andrew, on this last play, St. Cloud's coming in with numbers in deep. Well, you see there's just defensemen already out of position. You're going to have this forward here is chasing. He doesn't know which guy to try to take. He's going to try to cut off this guy, but he already looks like he doesn't have enough headroom to kind of head over there in time. This guy's focusing in. We can already see we got a trailer over here, and I'm guessing we might have one guy kind of come in here. These two guys can drive there because both of these defensemen really aren't sure of what assignment and what guy to kind of pick off. So we're going to see you can get a little bit of a give and go here because neither of these, again, Kevin McKernan, usually a pretty smart defenseman there, just not really able to decide which guy to take. The forward looked kind of lost out there, not sure which guy to take either. A little bit of miscommunication leads to that goal there by St. Cloud State.
All right, so Gabby said it a lot there. On-man rushes and defensive zone coverage seem to be the theme for all the teams heading into this weekend. For more information, you can visit our website at www.q30television.com and follow us on Twitter at Q30 Sports. For Gabbi, Riggi, I'm Andrew Badillo. Have a good one.